I have accepted David Ashford's resignation this morning with regret. I fully understand the reasons why he has determined that he should resign, and I can confirm that Alex Allinson is now appointed the Treasury Minister.
Now, this resignation, it was offered on Monday. It was speculated about in Tynwald on Tuesday. Why have you only accepted it this morning?
Well, David and I sat down on Monday. David told me that he wished to resign at that time. Walking out the door as a Treasury Minister is a difficult task because you do need to replace that role immediately. And I did ask David for a period of reflection and also allow me the time to consider how we were going to provide the right continuity within the Council of Ministers.
Has it been a distraction this week?
Well, it's been an eventful week. I want to be clear that, I absolutely acknowledge the shortcomings that have been revealed in that tribunal findings. There are a number of consequences as a result of that. I've laid that out in the statement. I bid farewell to the Chief Secretary who determined to retire on Monday, the Treasury Minister going, and now restructuring, a small restructure within Council of Ministers. Yeah, clearly it's been a busy week.
You were asked in Tynwald whether you had faith, essentially, in the Treasury Minister at that time. Obviously, with his resignation on the table, I could understand why at that point you didn't feel obliged to answer. Did you still have faith in his ability?
David Ashford has served the island tremendously well over a very, very difficult period. And let's just remember, he was thrust into the spotlight as Health Minister at a period of public health crisis, a period when many people were confused and didn't understand what was going on, were looking for significant reassurance. I believe David Ashford managed to do that extremely well and led the health service through that very turbulent period, and has been of great assistance in helping me form the new administration, putting together the island plan, and of course has delivered the first budget of the new administration. So David, I goes with my thanks, acknowledgement and recognition.
When my colleague spoke to Mr Ashford last week and asked him whether he would be tendering his resignation, he said no because he hadn't been directly involved. Do you believe that's changed?
Well, David has written a letter. That letter is published, and I think that is up to David. I think for me now it is about the future. I'm delighted that Alex Allinson has decided to step up to the mark. I think Alex has already proven himself in terms of his role at the Department for Enterprise. He's done an admirable job in education, and I think he'll be an excellent Treasury Minister. And we're facing huge numbers of challenges, not least, of course, cost of living challenge and crisis, and I know that Alex is determined to help Council get to grips with that and find the appropriate way forward.
You touched on the issue of replacing a Treasury Minister. It's not something you can do instantly. How difficult does that make it then going forward, particularly midway through a financial year?
Well, when I say you can replace instantly, it obviously would have been very difficult on Monday when I was dealing with a huge number of events to have determined straight away the replacement for David Ashford. I think David has demonstrated his selflessness to me and to Council by agreeing that we would have this period of reflection, and has enabled me to have a period of a thought process and discussion process, which means that the right decisions have been made and the right people are now being put into post.
Of course, you mentioned there that Dr Allinson will be taking on the Treasury Minister role. That does still leave you a minister short. Do you have a timeline?
Well, we're not going to rush into this. There's a huge amount going on. I think we've made the commitments that we're re-evaluating the role of the Chief Secretary. We are doing fulfilling a number of commitments now with regards to sorting out human resources and culture issues across government, and we've also made a commitment now to look at the size of government and what that means for the future. So there is a short period of reflection necessary for me to have discussions now with Council as to what the future scope and structure looks like, and we will tend to do that and then make the relevant appointment as necessary.
Is it disruptive for you, though, so early in your administration to have to make this change?
Well, it wasn't planned. So, I think, look, there's been a huge amount going on from COVID, the tail end of COVID, pre-Christmas, getting together the island plan, putting out a first budget, war in the Ukraine and the consequences of that, the inflation issue that was happening in any case, energy prices, the gas company, and clearly now tribunal findings. We have to launch, of course, an inquiry, a full review into COVID. We're getting on with that now, and the opportunity now it's necessary now to take the opportunity to actually get to grips with some issues that have been around for some time in government and that have been crystallised, I think, by the findings that have come forward in this tribunal.